Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all in science class, students. Students, today we are going to discuss about chapter number 10. Right? We are going to discuss the chapter number 10, and the name of this chapter is Reaching the Age of Adolescence. So, students, adolescence, which is a very new word for you, right? What does it mean basically? The first question that arises in your mind, like you may wonder what is that. So adolescence is basically a period, a time period, and a very important and crucial time period, you can say, that every human being uh, go through it, right? So adolescence, it's a time period, right? So if you are at your adolescence, you found that there are a number of changes that your body goes through it, right? Whether it's a physical change, emotional change, mental change, right? So why this happened to you? What are that changes? Any human body can go through it, right? So we are going to discuss here in this chapter. So in previous chapter we have learned about how animal reproduce. Generally we have discussed about the fertilization process, male and female reproductive part. So now if you noticed that any human being or any animal can reproduce their offspring after a certain age. So, if I ask you why, what is the reason behind it? So, here in this chapter, we are going to answer the question why. Why can human reproduce after a certain age? So, let's begin with the reading of this chapter. Adolescence and puberty. Bojo was celebrating his 12th birthday after his friend left. Bojo and Peheli began chatting with their parents. Peheli studies in an all girls school. She started laughing. She remarked that many of Bojo's school friends, whom she met after a year, had suddenly shot up in height. So it was Bojo's 12th birthday, and both were discussing after the party. Both were discussing with their parents, and Peheli was little amazed after seeing the Bojo's friend after a year, right? So she suddenly started laughing, and she was very amazed that every the friend of Bojo's suddenly shot up in height, means suddenly they gained their height. So some of them were looking very funny with their hairy line above their lips, and her mother explained that the boys had grown up. So she found them very funny. Why? Because she saw a hairy line above their lips. So her mother explained that the boys had grown up now, right? Growth begins from the day one is born. But upon the crossing the age of 10 or 12, there is a sudden spurt in growth which becomes noticeable. So basically, if we talk about growth and development, both started from the day one when the baby is born, right? Growth and development, right? both i- they both are like synonym, you can say. They both begins from the day one when the baby is born, and from the day or from the time a baby is born, right? But after crossing the age of 10 and 12, means when a baby reached at the age of 10 and 12, they found there is sudden changes, and suddenly their body got changed in growth, and there are many changes which become noticeable, means that changes are very noticeable. The changes take place in the body are part of growing up, means all these changes in a body, in the body basically, it is a part of growth and development. So basically they indicate that you are grown up now, or you can they indicate that you are growing, you are developing. Now, Bohojo wonders how long this period marked by changes in the body will last, means how this changes occur, means is there any perfect age for this changes? Bojo was wondering. Peheli, it was a strange period of life when you are neither a child nor an adult. So here one word, a child and an adult. What how you can define a child? A child is basically the one who is below at the age of 10, and who is like in their body there is no particular type of changes. Like if you talk about a boy and a girl, both look similar, right? But if you talk about an adult, and if you bifurcate, if you basically distinguish, if you want to distinguish between male and female, you can easily distinguish, right? But not in the case of a child. So, an adult is the one whose body part are matured enough, and a child whose body part are not matured enough, right? So, this period which Bojo was talking and Bojo was wondering, Peheli was saying that it was very strange period of life, and here in this, a human body neither a child nor an adult. I wonder whether this a period between childhood and adulthood had a special name. So she was wondering basically, is there any specific name for this? So let's discuss. Growing up is a natural process. Yes, it's growing up, it's a natural process. If a baby is born, baby is born, he has to become a child, he has to come in the age of adolescence, then an adult, then, right? So this period, if this period of life, means these stages of life, every human body, like every human body must have gone through it, right? The period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to the reproductive maturity is called adolescence. So here in the definition of adolescence, how they define adolescence: the period of life when body undergoes changes, means there is a specific time period when body undergoes, or body gone through a number of changes leading to reproductive maturity, means it includes also a reproductive maturity when their reproductive system become mature enough. This is called adolescence. So you can also define that it is a transition period between a childhood and adulthood. It involves various psychological and physical changes in an individual, right? So adolescence begin around the age of 11 and last up to 18 or 19 years. Since this period covered teenagers, which we call uh, teenagers or teens, adolescents are also called teenagers. So here these are the phonetic sound, these are the phonetic sounds basically. So here this is teenagers and this is teen, right? Also the period of adolescence varies from person to person. So this adolescence period means when a body when the body is at the stage to become an adult, right? Means it is changing from a child to an adult. This period is basically, it's called adolescence, right? In girls, adolescence may begin a year or two earlier than in boys. Means in girls, adolescence may come earlier to the boys, may come faster than boys, right? And this period varies person to person. So I hope you have understood all these things which we have discussed so far, and I hope you will read it out, and then you will understand more clearly. The explanation of this chapter become more clear if you read this on your own. That's it for today now, and in next class we are also going to discuss the remaining question answers of last chapter and the puberty, right? Thank you and have a nice day ahead.